Mrs. R here, coming live from her kitchen once again. Today we're going to make what was requested, a nice Sunday dessert. So hopefully you can try this next Sunday for your mom or dad or some loved one. We are going to start by making chocolate chip cookies, and then I'll show you how to turn that into an ice cream sandwich, and I'll also show you how to make an ice cream sundae. Really, ice cream sundaes are what you want to put on it, but we'll do some fun stuff and move on from there. First things first, make sure you talk to an adult about using the oven because we're using the stove to cook the cookies. Second thing, hair's tied back. Third thing, we're gonna scrub-a-dub-dub our paws or our hands. So we're gonna put soap on there and we're gonna wash them really well. Remember, we're washing for 20 seconds, making sure we get all the germs and bacteria off of our hands, washing in all of the crevices. I'm gonna take off my watch and my rings so I don't get any food in them. There we go. And let's get started. All right, so today we're going to make chocolate chip cookies. There are a gazillion different recipes out there to make chocolate chip cookies. I'm actually just going to take the one off the bag of the chip bag. You can also use one making a Crisco shortening. I've done that one as well. They're both equally as good. So to start, we're going to preheat our oven to 375. So I'm going to come over here, put my oven at 375. It started. Here we go. Let's get into the fun stuff. First thing, we're going to always read our directions. Don't just start throwing in your ingredients because this is a time when you actually have to have 2 bowls for your ingredients. We're going to start with 1 cup of softened butter. So I have my butter here, and I thought I grabbed a knife. Give me 1 second. And I'm just going to show you a quick little tip on how to cut your butter. So it's asking for 1 cup. If you look at your butter thing, it's going to show you 1 cup. So if you start here and go to that line, that's going to be 1 cup. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my knife, lift up the paper so I don't cut that in, and go straight down. That is 1 cup of butter, but we want it softened because that's pretty hard and that's going to be hard to mix. I'm going to throw that in the microwave. I'm throwing that in the microwave for about 30 seconds so we can melt it. Once the butter's softened, we're going to put it in this nice big bowl here. I'm going to put in 1 cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to use this golden brown sugar here. I'm going to get my measuring cup and put in 1 cup of brown sugar. So you want to pack it pretty nice and tight in your cup like so. You're going to dump it in your big bowl. I'm just going to close that up and set it out of the way so it doesn't spill. I like to clean as I'm going. If you want to do your mom or your grandma or whoever it is in your house that you love today and are appreciating and respecting, always clean up when you're done cooking. My lovely son made me breakfast this morning and it was delicious, but forgot to clean up when he was done. That's okay though. He's pretty excited to get it to me. So you can see that I have softened the butter here. I'm going to put that in with the brown sugar, like so. Take my spatula and just scrape that all out, like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to add half a cup of white sugar. Yay! White sugar. These have lots of sugar in them. So make sure you go for a big walk or run afterwards to burn off some calories. And again, this is just a treat. We wouldn't have this all the time, but it's always nice to have a little treat. And now I'm going to beat together. So I'm going to come over here. I have my mixer. Please be careful when you're using these mixers. Do not stick your fingers in here. It will hurt a lot. So you want to keep your fingers away. When you turn it on, you don't want to have it up here and turn it on because as soon as you put it in, everything's going to fly everywhere. So you're going to just put it in your mix and turn it to a low speed. I'm just going to mix that until it's a creamy mixture. When I'm taking it out, I'm going to keep it on low speed and lift it up slowly so all of my stuff just squirts in there and gets off of the paddle. Perfect. Now I can lift that out. I'm going to bring that back over here. I'm going to get this butter out of the way because we're done with that for now. And it says beat in 2 eggs and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So I'm going to use that bowl that I used the butter. I like to crack my eggs in a separate bowl, and the reason being sometimes you get eggshells in it. It's way easier to get your eggshells out of here than it is out of here. So I'm going to crack my egg. Just be careful when you crack, you're going to make a little crack. Pull it apart and let everything come out. Okay? You're going to grab your other egg. Crack it. Pull it apart. And get all the egg out of it. Just like so. I'm then going to quickly wash my hands just to get the egg goop off. Perfect. I'm going to take this fork, quickly beat my eggs. I'm going to take the vanilla and add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Just be careful when you're pouring your vanilla. It's going to pour fast. So I usually do it above the bowl. So there's 1. And 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to close that up, set it out of the way, mix it in with my egg, like so, and then I'm going to pour it in here. Take my spatula once again. If you do get eggshells in there, don't forget to pick those eggshells out before putting it in here. Perfect. Now I'm going to take that bowl back over to my mixer and give it another beating. Remembering not to turn it on until I have the paddles in the bowl. So I want to make sure that I get all of that stuff on the side, so I'm going to take my spatula and just scrape it in all the way around the sides. And then I usually just wipe it on there like so and give it another little mix. So as you can see, I have a nice goldy creamy mixture. I know lots of people will take a taste of this. I don't recommend it. It does have raw eggs in it, so you need to be careful when you're working with raw eggs and raw flour because you can get salmonella poisoning and it can make you very sick. So we don't want to put our fingers in there and taste it, and we don't want to be sticking our fingers there and then in our mouth and continue baking. All right, in a separate bowl, we are going to add the flour, the baking soda, and the salt. Now the reason that you do that in a separate bowl is because if the baking soda and salt don't get mixed properly and it's just in little chunks here, the cookies aren't going to evenly rise and taste yummy, okay? So it calls for 2 cups of white flour. I'm just going to use the same one. I'm going to make it nice and flat. So there's 1 cup. Two cups of flour. It calls for 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And again, with your baking soda, you want to make sure that it's flat. And make sure you're grabbing baking soda, not baking powder. This recipe calls for baking soda. So I'm going to dump that in there. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of salt you use. You can be using whatever salt that you like. So I kind of got a lot there. Perfect. And now I'm going to mix that up with my spatula. I want to get it all mixed in there. There we go. It's hard to see if it's mixed because it's all white, but we know that it's mixed because we're mixing it. And now I'm going to add that to my creamy mixture. Like so. I'm going to take it back over to my mixer, put my mixer in, turn it on. And you can see how I'm kind of going up the wall with the mixer to get all of the flour at the sides there. grab my spatula for a minute just to make sure that we got it all off the edges. Kind of just turning my bowl as I do this to make sure. There we go. Give it one more little mix here. Perfect. Excellent. And now this is the fun part. We get to add the chocolate chips. Yay! So it says add 2 cups of chocolate chips. And if you want to add a little less, you're more than welcome to. If you want to add a little more, you're more than welcome to. And here's my puppy dog thinking that she's going to get some cookies too. Hi, Winnie. But chocolate's not good for puppies, so make sure your dog doesn't get the chocolate part of these. There we go. I'm going to take my fork now. And as you can see, I'm just going to mix those chocolate chips in there. I don't usually use my mixer once I put the chocolate chips in because it's a little bit harder to mix with the mixer. And this is the first step to making our ice cream sandwiches. We need to get the cookie part made first. So these do take a little bit of time. So if this is something that you're going to make your cookies in the morning, let them cool down, and then in the afternoon you can add the ice cream, throw them back in the freezer, and they'll be ready for dinner. All right, I just need to get a cookie sheet. And I'm going to start to put those cookies on there. So it says to take about a tablespoon full of cookie dough. I'm going to take a pretty big glob of it because I want to make decent sized ice cream sandwiches. It's kind of gooey. And I'm actually leaving quite a bit of room here because I want to, mine are going to be a little bit bigger. I typically wouldn't make cookies this big, but we're making these into ice cream sandwiches, so we need them to be a little tiny bit bigger. So I'm just going to put 6 on this tray, and then I'll get the next tray ready and cook those up. So there we go. And there we are. We're going to throw these in the oven, and it says throw these in for about 10 minutes. So I'll set the timer for 8, check them, and then we'll take them out, and I'll let you know when they're ready. Here they go. Down. Set the timer for 8 minutes and start. And we'll be right back at you in 8 minutes. See you soon. All right, guys, the cookies came out of the oven. Here they are, some nice big yummy chewy doughy cookies. I'm going to do a chocolate ice cream sandwich and a vanilla ice cream sandwich. So what I'm going to do is I usually buy these square boxes. I'm going to cut it about 1 inch thick. So if you want to look here, that's about 1 inch thick, but you can really cut it as thick as you want. So I'm going to take my knife down. This is really hard. I just took it out of the freezer. So it's going to take a minute to get through here. Maybe I need a bigger knife. There we go. So now we have a slab. What I'm going to do with that is take my cookie cutter, push that through. So I have the perfect circle. I'm going to flip my cookie upside down. They're still a little warm. Put it on top, and then put my other cookie on top, and look at that beautiful ice cream sandwich. Now if you want to take sprinkles and sprinkle around it, you can. I'm putting it in this container because once I get them all done, I'm going to put them in here, put them in the freezer. It'll all freeze together and be delicious. Those cookies were a little bit big, but that's okay. This leftover ice cream we're going to use to make an ice cream sundae. So I'm going to do the same thing with the chocolate. Cut a slab. Cut a circle out of it. And then pop that on the cookie upside down and put the other one on top. And you kind of just squish it together like that. Beautiful. I'm just going to go grab one more thing if you want to zoom in on those nice ice cream sandwiches there. So, what we get to do with those leftover chunks of ice cream is make our ice cream sundae. So I bought these waffle bowls here to have my ice cream sundae, and I'm actually going to set it in a bowl because lots of times the bowl gets really soft and the ice cream dips through it, so you want to put it in a bit of a bowl. So I'm going to put it in my bowl. I have to get my ice cream scoop. Alright, I'm just going to use this for now to scoop in the ice cream that I have here, but usually you can use an ice cream scoop. I'm improvising because you don't want to waste ice cream. And really, with an ice cream sundae, you can put whatever you want on it. I unfortunately do not have any syrups, so I'm not going to put any syrup on mine, but you can put strawberry syrup, caramel syrup, chocolate syrup, whatever you want. I'm just going to add some sprinkles to mine, maybe like so. We don't usually have ice cream sandwiches, so that's kind of why I don't really have any of the syrup, but I didn't think to pick any up when I was getting groceries. Some fancy sprinkles on. Ooh, fancy. And I'm also going to add a little bit of these Reese's Pieces ones. Boom. You can add banana to that, you can add strawberries, you can pretty much add whatever you want, and then you have yourself a nice ice cream sundae and a yummy ice cream sandwich. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know how it turned out and enjoy a nice sweet treat on me. Talk to you soon and see you next time, guys.